Okay, technical difficulties. I think my phone ran out of memory, so I just went in and deleted some other videos. So, um, if I'm not able to crop that other one or whatever, we're just going to start back at the beginning of A, where I'm explaining what to write above each of these notes in terms of how to count it. So, the first measure of A is 1 and E, 3, Okay? 1 and E, 3, So instead of highlighting anything on the page for the bass drums, what I want you to do is to write those syllables above the notes. In the second measure, it goes like this. And E, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And E, 3, 4. Okay, and measure 3 is the same as measure 1, and measure 4. By the way, I'm counting as the measure numbers start at A. I know there's 2 measures of rest at the top. I'm kind of just pretending that those aren't there. So measure 4, the bar before B, goes 1, and 4. 1, and 4. All right, so measures 1 through 4 go like this. 1 and E, 3, and E, 3, 4. 1 and E, 3, 1, and 4. Okay, so you'll notice a similarity between measure 1 and number 2. Basically, if you take the downbeat of A away, but you put it on the downbeat of 4, then that's what measure 2 is. So your middle 4 notes there are the same rhythm. So in both of those measures, you've got and E, 3, It's just whether or not you're playing a downbeat or beat 4. So notice that the upbeat of 1 in the first bar is on the left hand, and the upbeat of bar 2 is on the right hand. So just be aware of that. That first count of A is according to 8th note natural sticking, and the first count of the second bar is according to 16th note accent timing natural sticking. So I'm just going to play each bar 4 times, and then I'm going to play all 4 bars together like 4 times at 80. Make sure the camera is still rolling here. Okay, perfect. Shouldn't have any more interruptions. First measure of A. Next bar. And let's go ahead and play the next downbeat as well. Next measure. go ahead and play the next count as well. Next measure. Ending somewhat soft. Alrighty, we're going to take a break before we play all four measures together. So I don't remember where the video cut was, so I'm just going to say it again, potentially. In the first bar of A, that first left hand, I want you all to rebound that so that it goes up and it's ready to play on the E of 2. So your motion will be 1 up, down, right, on the very beginning. 1 up, down, going from that second bar into the third, I want you to rebound that right hand. So that whole bar, up, 1. Okay, so don't hold that right hand down and then play it again. Just let it come up and back down on the next measure. However, on the fourth bar there, going from beat 4 into B, I do want you to downstroke that right hand and then re-attack for that softer mezzo piano right. So that fourth bar, down, and then play softly right there. Okay, so trying to keep all that in mind, let's play A into the downbeat of B 4 times in a row. I would not count that as one if I were the reps. I would not count that one either. Last time. Cool. Yeah, so in that whole sequence, I think I got it right maybe 2 or 3 times. So I apologize. So B, it's just 1, a 2, 3, a 4. 1, a 2, 3, a 4. 1, a 2, 3, a 4. 1, and 4. Boom. Okay. And then ending loudly. So let's. Okay, I'm not going to get too technical with how we muffle this stuff. Okay, so I'm not even going to get into that right now. We'll discuss how to mute with the left hand in person when we do this. But just make sure that you know that at B, your left hand is going to be pressed into the left head, and the right is just going to be playing relatively softly as usual. But just boom, 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 and it makes for a cool sound. So then you'll unmuffle after beat 4 before C with the left. So bump, 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 boom. And so that downbeat of C, your left hand is no longer going to be doing anything on the head. So that'll be a really loud open hit. So let's play B 4 times in a row. The last measure of B is the same as the last measure of A in rhythm, but just note that in B, every single thing is on the right hand. Loud release there. Cool. So now let's play A and B just to make sure that we haven't forgotten A. Cool. So if you have trouble getting that transition from A into B, say you can play A great, you can play B great, but that transition gives you trouble, then just slow it down and work the last measure of A into the first measure of B. Alrighty, so moving right along. C, the counting is 1, a 2, a 3. 1, a 2, a 3. Dum, ba ba bum, ba bum. Okay? Then nothing, and then the same measure again. And then that clave rhythm as well. So that fourth measure of C is the same as the fourth measure of A. It's just a little bit louder this time. It's that fortissimo. Okay? So, not a whole lot to point out in this one. It's all 16th note natural sticking stuff. Yeah, so let's play the first measure of C 4 times, and then we're going to play all of C 4 times, because it's easy enough. We don't need to go through every single measure of this. So, the first bar of C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All of C. 1, 2, 3, 4. So some things to point out. Going from the of 1 into the E of 2, that left hand should float as well. So boom, up, and then just keep that left hand motion going until you downstroke it on the of 2. So notice my left hand just keeps going. I don't hold it down anywhere in that until the last left hand. Okay, and then the same thing like the B going into C, where you do rebound that last right hand. Same thing going into D. After that quarter note on 4 before D, the right hand should come up so that it's in position to then play the downbeat at D. So you've got at C, the first measure, you've got left hand floats, don't control the left hand down, and then in the last measure of C going into D, you've got that right float where you don't control it down. So just note that. Let's play C again twice. Okay, so now let's play A through C just to make sure that we haven't forgotten A and B. One more time. Okay. Should have floated that last quarter into D. My bad. Let's look at D. So the counting is this first bar. 1, 3, and 1. Okay. Again. 1, 3, and 4. Alright, so I just want to note that this rhythm starting on beat 3 is not a quarter note triplet. So it does not go 1, da, da, sorry, 1, da, 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 da. It's not evenly spaced. It's 1, 3, and 4. Okay, so it's square rhythm, not rounded out. Okay, so that's the next quiz question is the first bar of D, beat 3, does that start a quarter note triplet? The answer is no. You can even put no with an exclamation point. A quarter note triplet and dotted 16th note are completely different rhythms. Okay, Moving along, the second measure of D, I'm going to count it. 1, 3, and 1. Again. 1, 3, and 1. All right. Now, the next measure is the same as the first measure of D. So it's just 1, 3, and 1. Okay, cool. So when we do this, we will want to put a forte release after the last measure of D. So you're at fortissimo, and these are nice big open rhythms, so y'all should be able to, wail on these. And then after that last measure, you'll keep the sticks out and you'll release just forte. So not as loud as D, but a little bit under. And that'll be us repeating back to A. So this whole cadence just goes on a loop for as long as we play it. So D, let's play the first bar of D. Second bar of D. Float that left. Up. All of D. Ending forte. 3, 1, 2, ready, play. All right. Cool. So let's play through it once. Whole thing, just to review A through C. So we're doing A through D, but we're doing it to review A through C. Starting forte. Now, let's take a little brain break. What I'm going to do is record it a couple of times through at a few different tempos. I'm going to start it at 80, and I'm going to do A through D, repeat, A through D, stop. Move it up on the metronome, same thing, A through D, taking the repeat. And I'll just do that at a few different tempos. What's this? Something from work. Let's see what it is. Okay, good. On a shorter recall now, so that's good. Alright, so now instead of doing it to this boring metronome, I'm going to put it on a beat. See if I can find a better beat. I had it on something the other day called Thud Punch, and I really liked that one, but it's not on here anymore. We'll leave it on this one. Okay, so let's go 80 beats a minute. Play it twice through. 1, 3. 1, 2, ready, go. Sweet. So that was 80 beats a minute. Let's go 90. 100. Sorry. Okay, 110. Sorry for these mistakes, y'all. Something to note, the first and third bar of C, on the downbeat of that bar, I do want that right hand to float as well. So you're floating and rebounding those left hands, but also that first right hand. Actually, yeah, first, second, right hands rebounded. So basically, you're playing everything up except for that last left, right, and you'll just control those down. So up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Cool. So I'll try and catch some of that stuff. 110. Cool. I think that I'm missing the rebound from the second bar of A into the third bar of A. So at this last tempo, I'm going to try to catch that. But I just wanted to state it so that if you were seeing it, I wouldn't get questions like, so are we controlling it down or are we rebounding it? Just do what I said to do, and I'm going to try to do what I said to do. All right, whole thing 120. Sweet. All right, so that's it. We will not play this thing at 120. I'm thinking if we settle it in around 105, I think that's a nice tempo. I think I have it marked to, 100 to 110 or something like that. 110 would be okay, but I think this thing really settles around 105. So anyway, yeah, if you can play it at like 100 beats a minute by Bandcamp, then I think you'll be in pretty good shape, because I doubt the snares and tenors will all be able to play it that fast at that point. If they are, awesome. We'll be ahead of schedule. But yeah, try to aim somewhere around 100 beats a minute on this. Shouldn't be hard if y'all are working on all the timing stuff and everything anyway. I'm not worried too much about this, but make sure you stay on top of it and show up prepared. Take care.